We are live.
Good morning, everyone. So the session is all about souls. Souls is self-organizing learning systems. Okay, we always have a report which is based on your learning, that is your subject learning. Maybe it is your math, science, social, languages, English, all these things. When you're assessed, you have been you're being given a report, right? So now souls is all about character profile. What is this character profile? Character profile is all about your learner profile and also the ATL, that is approaches towards learning. All those skills which you develop day in, day out, inside the classrooms, outside the classrooms. That is ATL. And the learner profile which you built is all about the attributes which are imbibed in you. Like you become an inquirer by asking many questions, you communicate and you become a communicator, right? So the learner profile and the approaches towards learning, that is the transdisciplinary skills which you develop in you. Along with that, the cultures which you follow and the mantras of Mahatma, all these things together is your character profile. So today, let us see how is that you are going to build your character profile using this souls. Okay. So let me start presenting the screen and then explain you how is it we are going to go about it. So as I said earlier, souls is self-organizing learning systems. As you see on the screen, this character profile booklet, which you will be starting from July 20th onwards, where you will be assessing yourself, you will be assessed by your friend, and you will also be assessed by your teacher. And do not forget, there are some areas where we are asking the parents also to share their thoughts, assess you based on these things. Okay. So this is how the booklet looks like. There will be a name, your class and section, and the year which you are in. The academic year is 20, 21, 22, 23. This is. As you see here, the USP of the school is character before competence. When we talk about it, character before competence has been the focus in Silver Oak since 2005. The inside-out approach is to groom learners who are competent because of the values inside them. This report aspires to build diligently planned profile. Consistency, periodicity, rational, purpose, and indicators are carefully considered here. So when we say rational, we are talking about the reason. Why are we doing that? The purpose behind it. Okay. Talking about learner agency, self-assessment is one more form of agency. Silver Oaks aspire to empower icons to become assessment-capable learners. What is this assessment-capable learners? It's nothing but you yourself are making sure that I am capable of the assessment, and the school takes into consideration grooming them to be an assessment-capable learners. In a student-centric approach, learners are central to learning, and the same should be in their assessments too. Student-centric is nothing but where the student is given a kind of engagement, and the student tries to share his or her own thoughts in presence of the teacher. That is student-centric approach. In this continuous assessment report, the three stakeholders of learnings are learners, teachers, and parents. All these three have an equal role to play. So this assessment is more about reflection by a learner, observation by a teacher, understanding from the parent. Okay. Now, what are these self-organizing learning system? Our belief is that self and peer assessment, teacher and parent assessment may help in leading this practice towards self-organizing learning system. So I hope by now you all understood self-organizing learning system is nothing but I am able to assess myself from my friend, by the teacher, and also by parent. How am I going to build myself? How am I going to organize myself, and how am I going to organize my learning system is all about SOLS, which is self-organizing learning system. Now we all know that the elements of character profile, as I have said in the beginning itself, it's all about learner profile, ATLs, which is approaches to learning, and cultures, and also the mantras of Mahatma. So all these four elements are congruent. Congruent is nothing but they are mapped with each other. They're very much aligned. Okay, attributes of a learner profile or cultures or approaches to learning or mantras of Mahatma are congruent in their meaning. When we talk about the descriptors below that, all are almost meaning the same and they're congruent. The primary objective is to help the learner develop as many elements of character profile in Silver Oaks as possible. Therefore, they have been periodically planned for assessment to make it an ongoing learning process. Once again, I remind you all, just like we do have the weekly tests in our subject areas, these assessments based on the learner profile, ATLs, cultures, and mantras of Mahatma are also periodically planned. Let's see how are they planned. When you see this particular slide, who assesses and why, you need to know that there are 4 goals behind this. Okay, the goal 1 is grooming assessment capable learners, therefore self-assessment is planned. A while ago, I was talking about grooming assessment capable learners. Remember that? And goal 2 is furthering learning. Assessment by the teacher should lead to further learning. The teacher assesses so that she will inform you how to go ahead. And goal 3 is including parents. Assessment by parents makes the character profile as a 360 degrees process. So think about it, 360 degrees process. Why we said that? When the parents are also included into it, we get the complete information about the child. That's the reason it is said it is a 360 degrees process. Goal 4 is promoting agentic learning. What is this agentic learning? Agentic learning is the child owning the learning completely. The child has a voice, choice, and also the ownership towards the learning. Assessment by peers makes assessment responsible learners. You all might think that peer assessment, what is it? Your friend will be given this character profile to assess you based on the learner profile or the ATLs. Okay, let's go ahead and see the periodicity too. Then it is written here in July, August, September, October, November, December, January, and February, all the months ATLs will be assessed. This means every month from ATL, a skill will be taken into consideration to assess by the teacher, by self, by peer, and also sometimes it is parent. What are the areas wherein sometimes peer is not included or sometimes the parent is not included, we'll come to know in the further pages. Okay. Below that, the second row, where is it saying? In July, from learner profile and ATL, both will be assessed. Cultures will be there in August and also in November. And then again, mantras only in October. Cultures again, it will be assessed in February. Okay. So the benchmarks, like you get marks in your report card or your assessment papers, wherein the paper is for 20 marks or 40 marks. In the same way, here we are calling it as benchmark instead of marks. Okay. There are 4 benchmarks here, which are beginning, developing, extended, and competent. So the beginning level is students are introduced to the attribute, all these attributes, ATLs, cultures, and mantras, and can watch others demonstrating it. That means the child is in the beginning level. They're only observing others, they are watching others and trying to learn more about it. That's the first benchmarks. So learning by observation. Then second part is developing. Student copies others who demonstrates the attribute, ideal, culture, mantra, and demonstrates with scaffolding and guidance. Here copying is not exactly copying others and then trying to do something. This is like learning by emulation. I mean, it's like you are observing somebody and also trying to imbibe the same in you. Okay, you're trying to put the same in your profile. You're trying to observe and then learn from them. That is developing stage. Then extended stage is student demonstrates the attribute, ATL, culture, mantras confidently and effectively. So all by himself or herself, the child is able to demonstrate the learning or demonstrate the skills or the learner profile which is imbibed in them. They're able to demonstrate effectively. That is extended part. Now coming to competent stage, student can show others how to demonstrate the attributes, ATLs, cultures, mantras, and accurately assess its effectiveness. Okay, so the competent stage is all about self-regulation as a result of learning. That means you are able to demonstrate effectively all by yourself. And then you can also make others learn it from you. Okay, these are the 4 benchmarks. Hope you are registering in your minds, everybody. Now we all know what is this learner profile, right? Silver Oaks considers the attributes in a learner profile recommended by IBO as essential elements of character building. Therefore, the 10 attributes of the learner profile are focused and developed from pre-primary to senior secondary classes. Now let's go deep into the book now. Let's see how is your assessment going to look like. The benchmarks are beginning, developing, extended, and competent. So when we give this to you, the booklet will be given to you when you come back to the school. And then once it is given to you, each and every child will do a self-assessment, will have a peer assessment, the teacher will be assessing, and then we will send it home for the parent to have a parent assessment. So if it is Inquirer, we are going to begin in July. Along with Inquirer, one more thing from approaches to learning. That is the first skill in ATL will also be done at the same time. One attribute from learner profile and one skill from ATL. Let me show you that part too. So when we are doing in July from the beginning, one part of the Inquirer, one attribute from the learner profile. At the same time, we are going to begin with the approaches to learning too. The art of learning through different tools and skills are carefully developed by the IPO. So NEP 20 also recommends greater focus on skill-based learning To groom lifelong learners, Silver Oaks visualizes a huge potential in building approaches to learning in all the students. What is NEP? National Education Policy, which was built in 20. Okay. Which is also our character profile is congruent to that now. So coming to this part, one attribute from learner profile and one skill, only one skill here, approaches towards learning. Your listening skill also will be considered. I mean, under communication, the listening skill at the same time. Okay, the speaking skill, interpreting, reading, writing, all these skills will be considered in the same week. Depending on the time, we will ask the peers to assess you. You will have a self-assessment. The teacher will be assessing you, and also the parent when we send the book back to home. So this is about how you begin in July your character profile assessment. So not all at a time will be given to the student to assess themselves or the peers to assess you, but then one after the other, only one attribute from the learner profile, one skill from the ATL will be considered as per the periodicity which is shown earlier. Coming to cultures now. Cultures of Silver Oaks are guided and planned experiences to create shared values and beliefs which generate positive behaviors. Cultures to live, learn, think, read, give, trust, work, conserve, collaborate, appreciate are guided practices to enable icons to create values and act in congruent with their beliefs. Okay. So your culture to work, if you say, my work, my responsibility, I will be doing my homework and then I will also be independent in doing my work. So when we say, I'm independent, are you really that independent or not? So that will be assessed here by self, peer, and teacher. Okay, then we will send it to the parent, whether the child is able to follow all these cultures or not. Culture to live, culture to collaborate, culture to appreciate, culture to give. So this is a very clear process of understanding how am I building myself, how am I building my character and becoming more competent, right? And then coming to mantras. Mantras will be done only in October. Okay. Since 2010, Silver Oaks has been contextualizing and contemporizing Gandhian principles, right? To the younger generations. School coined the term mantras of Mahatmas for 5 of the Gandhian principles and motivating icons to build their character through mantras. When they are part of the performance assessment report, they may acquire more focus and importance. See, whenever I'm reading the particular page about cultures or the mantras of Mahatma or the ATLs or the learner profile, the rationale behind it, the reason or the, what is it, why is it we are doing? Okay, the purpose behind it. I'm reading all those things if you're able to understand. So the 5 mantras of Mahatma have been leading us, helping us to lead in a better way since 2010. So when we say Swadharma, it is congruent to again culture to work. My work, my responsibility. Swadharma is all about my work. I am responsible for my work, right? So the periodicity here, if you can see, but this is in October, which will be done by self, peer, teacher, and parent. Okay. So this is all about souls, which you will be starting in the end of July. I mean, like, maybe around 20th or 21st we'll be beginning. this part of it. One area where you will not be asked to assess by your peers. Let me show you that part once again. So your thinking skills will be done. Under skills, I want to show you something here. So your communication will be assessed by all the four, that is you, your friend, your teacher, and parent. And please do remember that every time it will not be the same person who will be assessing you in the aspect of friend. The friend might be changing. Okay. When it comes to social, all four of them are going to assess. Only when it is research, see, self, teacher, and parent. Here, the peer is not assessing in terms of self-management. Self-management is all about managing myself. That is first thing. And then whether the teacher is able to check, is the student able to manage himself or herself, and the parent also can check, but not the friend. Okay, we did not include the friend there. And in terms of thinking, everybody, okay. But then again here, research skills, it is self, peer, teacher, and parent. So it is your self-management skill wherein we are not asking your friend to assess you. So this is all about souls, which we are going to begin very soon. Be ready for that. Be ready to build your character based on your development of, or the building of the learner profile, or the following of the cultures, developing the skills, okay, and then also imbibing the mantras in you. Have a great day, everyone.